Hello YouTubers, and welcome to Collector's Cash. We're here tonight to show you guys an old school Magic collection that we recently bought that contain a bunch of vintage booster boxes. To start out with, Alpha Boosters. These suckers are rare. They're some of the rarest booster packs ever made in gaming, period. We got a Beta starter box. To be honest with you, this could actually be an Alpha starter box. The only way that you actually know whether it's Alpha or Beta is you have to break the seal on the box and look at the individual starter decks. On the bottom, there either will be a barcode or there won't be. If there is a barcode, it's Beta. The absent of the barcodes means they're Alpha. Alpha starter decks are almost non-existent now. Next we have an unlimited booster box. Yes folks, these could have Moxes, Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, Time Twister, Dual Lands, and even some of the other cool cards like Gauntlet of Might, Illusionary Mask, Berserk, and many others. Also, an unlimited starter box. These suckers are rare. We actually as a company have not owned one of these in almost a decade. They've got two different versions of unlimited starters. You look on the drawstrings, they have gold versions. This happens to be the gold version. If you see, the little drawstrings are in gold. And then they have the clear versions. Depending on the collector, some prefer clear, some prefer gold. Next we've got 6 sealed boxes of Legends boosters. This is actually the most amount of Legends boosters this company has ever owned at any given one time. These are tough to get, and back in those days they actually made 10 booster boxes per case. So we've got a little over a half case here. 3 English boxes, 3 Italian boxes. We've also got 3 boxes of the Dark, 2 English, 1 Italian. Dark boxes, not so much. Maze of Ith, Ball Lightning, but they're a cool novelty item to kind of showcase and show off to your fellow Magic players. And then we've got, of course, just some Legends booster packs. Great way to booster draft. If anybody wants to come booster draft, we've got packs for you. Now there's a couple of things I wanted to show you guys. If we can get the camera in here a little close. This almost looks like a revised box. Now obviously on the back you got the WotC code for the unlimited box is WOC 16500. And if you can get in here, it'll say Unlimited Edition. Your revised boxes look almost the same, they just don't say Unlimited Edition. Again, these are the ones that could have Power 9 cards, and most likely there's probably 2, 3, or 4 of them in that box somewhere. The starters, the same thing. You'll see Unlimited Edition written here. The box code on the back, WOC 6000. What is kind of ironic about that box code is on the back of the Alpha and Beta starters, it's got the same code, WOC 6000. So just note that just because the Wizards of the Coast code is the same, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have an issue with either one of those. Now something before we continue on I want to talk about is Beta starter decks. For those of you who aren't familiar with them, back in those days quality control wasn't so good at Wizards of the Coast. So we've seen a lot of Beta starters open, and sometimes there's actually Alpha rares in place of the Beta rares. That's normal. And in some starter decks there's actually no rares, which makes it great for the people in the past who've opened up the what we call God decks of Beta starters that contained all rares and all commons. So basically there were no uncommons, and in substitute where the uncommons went there were rares. Those were awesome. Unfortunately, some people had to suffer the consequences and get no rares in their Beta starters. So at Collector's Cash here, we've actually been in Magic since about 1995, right after Unlimited was out of print. Revised just started printing. And we've been running sanctioned tournaments since about 96. The DCI was at its early stages, but we were pretty excited to get going and actually get all the matches registered, so we were part of the game pretty early. Now I want to show all you YouTubers also one other thing. At Collector's Cash, we actually stock almost every single booster pack, starting with the very far left, the pink box, which is Arabian Nights. Arabian Nights, as you know, is a 60-pack booster box. That's actually one of the hardest, actually probably the hardest expansion set to locate. 8 card packs, 60 packs per box. And at the time of this filming, June 3rd, 2012, booster packs are selling for roughly about $200 to $250 a pack retail. Then you've got Beta boosters, Unlimited boosters, Beta starters, Antiquities boosters. That's another extremely rare box. 60-pack box, 8 cards per pack. Revised boosters and starters. Legends, Dark, Fallen Empire, Chronicles, Homelands, 4th edition, Ice Age, Alliances. Now for many of you old school Magic players, you'll remember when 4th edition and Ice Age came out, there was a really limited run initially, so boxes were actually worth a lot more than MSRP. That was one of the very few times in Magic where a new set was selling far above MSRP because it was so limited. Alliances, Cold Snap, a little out of order here, but was part of the Ice Age block. They finally completed that block many years later. 5th edition boosters, 5th edition 2-player starters, Mirage, Visions, and Weatherlight. We got the whole Tempest block here. Tempest, Stronghold, and Exodus. On to 6th edition, Urza's Saga, Urza's Legacy, Urza's Destiny, and the Mercadian block. Mercadian Masks, Nemesis, and believe it or not, Prophecy is actually all the way on the end, so I don't have to sprint back there. We're going to go backwards here. So we've got Ravnica Guild Pack. We've got the Kamigawa block, Champions of Kamigawa, Betrayers and Saviors. 9th edition, 5th Dawn, Darksteel, Mirrodin, Scourge, Legions, Onslaught, 8th edition, Judgment, Torment, Odyssey, Apocalypse, Planeshift, Invasion, 7th edition, and there's the Prophecy. And then you have, of course, Guild Pack continuing on, Dissension, the Time Spiral block with Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight. Wonderful Tarmogoyf. Those boxes are extremely expensive now. 10th edition, Lorwyn, Morningtide, and Shadowmoor. On to the next, Eventide, Shards of Alara, Conflux, Alara Reborn, 2010. They finally started numbering the base sets, which we all appreciate. Instead of calling, they could have called it anything, they started naming it by the year, so it makes it easier. 2010 core set, Zendikar, Worldwake. Worldwake boxes, thanks to Jace the Mind Sculptor, are through the roof now. Rise of Eldrazi, and one little Rise of Eldrazi Lonely booster pack just hanging out here. Somebody needs to buy that one. 2011 core set, Scars of Mirrodin, Mirrodin Besieged. Now we're getting newer. New Phyrexia, 2012, Innistrad, Dark Ascension, and Avacyn Restored. As of this filming, that's the newest set. Of course, 2013 will be out this summer. And then, of course, many other sets will be coming out after that. At Collector's Cash here, we carry almost every form of supplies, Ultra Pro, Max Protection, Player's Choice, KMCs, deck boxes, sleeves, binders, monsters. We've got dual decks, Plane Chase, from the vaults, 9-pocket pages, just about anything you need to collect and play Magic. I want to go back to these old boxes because this is probably one of the last times that anyone except for you few collectors out there, and we know you guys got them, there's about 10 guys probably worldwide that have got almost the core of all the boxes that exist. So it's probably going to be a long time before one dealer here in the world amasses this kind of a collection anytime soon. So again, make sure when you need any Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, any other gaming, you visit us. Go to our website, collectorscash.com, and make sure all your games are live and your decks have monsters.